Good morning to Jamie O'Hara, and lots to get through on this show. We are going to start with Liverpool. Let's hear now from Arne Slot on Mohamed Salah's reaction to being dropped against West Ham.
That's a normal reaction from a player that's good enough to play for us. And then I say it mildly because he's been so outstanding for this club for so many years and will be for us in the future. So yeah, of course a player isn't happy he's not playing. He wasn't the only one who wasn't happy that he wasn't starting. I can tell you, and that's normal. But the way he behaved was as you would expect from a professional he is. But he was very supportive for his teammates, handled himself really well during the day and yesterday in the session as well. So you cannot be a player that's available every 3 days and play on that high standards if you go with your emotions. But for Mo, he's so disciplined, knows what to do to stay fit, and no matter if he plays well, doesn't play well, if he plays or if he doesn't play, he will always be that top professional, and that's what he was in the last 2 days.
The reality is he is a human being. Do we have to remember that sometimes?
Fortunately, for the time I've been here, I didn't have to remember you to that because he's been a superhuman being. But as all players around the world, there are also faces in your time at the club that you are human, is the way you put it. And but yeah, he scored so many goals for us, and I'm sure he will in the future.
Right, OK, Jamie O'Hara, what did you make of Liverpool on Sunday? They got that vital win at West Ham.
Yeah, look, they needed a win. I don't think they were amazing. I thought it was workmanlike. They got the job done. They were a bit more compact. I think Joe Gomez coming back into the side gave them a bit more of a defensive stability. Players playing in a position where they should be playing. Look, West Ham were poor. I didn't think West Ham were great at all. It was a West Ham performance that I was expecting to see. And Liverpool got it done. Are they blowing up any trees? No, of course they're not. But they need to pick up results, and they needed a win, and they got one. A clean sheet, 2 goals. Isak scores. You know, it calms things down a little bit. It's a long way to go to get back to where they need to, but maybe it's a step in the right direction.
They got a win without starting Mo Salah. Arne Slot said he wasn't happy to be dropped. That's understandable. Yeah. Do you think he'll be back in? Or do they stick with this winning team?
Well, if he rotates and he'll have to look at the squad of players, they've got a huge amount of games coming now.
Sunderland tomorrow night at home and Leeds at the weekend away.
Yeah, so look, you know, he will feature, of course he will. Is he the player who starts week in, week out for Liverpool right now? I'd probably say no. His performances this season have been poor. And the problem is he's got such high standards of where he's been, and everything about Liverpool over the last 6-7 years has been about feeding Mo Salah to score goals. I think, you know, with the players that they've brought in and the style of football that they're trying to play, probably doesn't suit Mo Salah. And I think maybe there's, you know, now you're looking at it where he might have to be left out for some games. Of course he will feature, and of course he'll score goals. Does he have to be the main man, the star player in that team, you know, every week? I don't, you know, he's getting older. And maybe his levels have dropped off a bit. They've got some brilliant players that they've brought in, and they're trying to gel them all together. I think it's all been about Mo Salah over the last 6 years, and now I think it's changed. I think it's got to be a team collective. I think he's going to carry on getting dropped. I do. I think at the moment, Liverpool are probably better without Mo Salah in the team.
Sky Sports are partnered with Finalysis, an app where passionate fans share their opinions. Now, I don't know if you were watching yesterday, but our Liverpool fan guest we had on yesterday, Montel, said it was time for Slot to go now. So before we ask you about that, let's remind you of what he said.
I'm aware that we're not a sacking club, and I don't believe we're going to sack the manager, but that doesn't mean he deserves to be staying at the club right now. But with a club like Liverpool and what we're doing and the money he's been given, last season, I'm not erasing history or anything like that. I'm very thankful with the manager. But at this point in time, he's removed us from the title race. We're looking poor in the Champions League. We have no style of play. The players look dejected. Some of the losses and the way we've lost. And it's not just all on the manager. It's all on the players as well.
Right, Peter, is that the general feeling around Anfield?
No, certainly not. I don't think any Liverpool fans would like to see Arne Slot leave. If you keep losing week in, week out, then obviously you're going to be concerned for the manager because you can't be in free fall. We've stopped the rot at the moment, so no, but I don't believe that's the case. And like he pointed out, that Liverpool are not a second club.
Do you, Jamie, what do you think?
Well, it's interesting because, look, I hear you, but I don't know if I see a real way out of this for Arne Slot. Like, Liverpool spent a lot of money and the team's got a gel and it hasn't quite happened. You're going to pick up wins because you've got great players, right? But do I see Liverpool getting back to the top, winning the Premier League, getting back there with Arne Slot? I don't know. I'm not sure. Like, I don't agree with sacking him right now, but do I see a real future with Arne Slot where Liverpool are going to be dominating and they're going to be up there? I'm not sure I am. I'm not sure the identity and the players that you've brought in, I can see that with him.
Well, the thing is, though, you're never going to see that. And I share that opinion that you've got, Jamie, because if you lose 9 out of 12 games, what it was before Sunday, you're never going to have a good feeling about winning the league in the coming seasons. That's not going to happen. But at the same time, Liverpool have only got 2 less wins than Arsenal. They've only got 1 less win than Manchester City. They're level of wins with Chelsea. So Liverpool are winning football matches this season. And sometimes it's not as bad as you think it is. The recruitment that you're talking about, well, that's where Arne Slot's getting a lot of the blame. He's like the lightning rod for what's gone on at the club. Well, I'm not entirely sure. If you look back over the history of history of FSG, that it's been a transfer committee, so Arne Slot can't be making all of those decisions. And for me, it looks like the summer transfer business is unfinished. Now, we all looked at it and said, oh, we spent a hell of a lot of money, but we've not replaced Luis Diaz, and we never brought in Mark Gahey. So if you would sign 2 more players, how would the balance of the squad look then?
If a lot have been made about this 3-game run, West Ham away, Sunderland at home, and Leeds away. Now, how many points would you expect from those 3 games? Is it the maximum 9? Is it 7, like Jamie Carragher said? And you have got 3 points on the board already.
For me, I would definitely say in the past and before this run, I'd say 9 points. You've got to beat all of those 3 clubs with all due respect. But 7 points from where we've come from is perfectly fine, and I think that's the minimum requirement.
It's got to be 9. Like, I don't know why Liverpool are lowering their expectations. Like, Liverpool...
But Jamie, what's our objective now?
Well, you got top 4 minimum.
If the top, so 7 points would get us top 4. So if you got 7 points over the course of 3 games from the...
I hear what you're saying, but why is the expectations and where you expect the club to be changed? You're playing West Ham, Sunderland and Leeds.
Yeah.
Every season, regardless of how the club feels, it should be right 9 points. 9 points minimum.
But top 4 sides don't win every game. So if we're only a top 4 side... Now, you've just said yourself about Arne Slot and about the team being unbalanced. Until Liverpool rectify that in the transfer market, we're not going to be winning every game. Now, I'm not saying Liverpool won't beat Sunderland tomorrow night or they won't beat Leeds. But what my expectation is, what my minimum standard is, would be 7 points.
I don't know. I feel like...
I'll be honest with you, Jamie. I'm still disappointed with that. So I know what you're saying. And I share that. I'm disappointed of saying it's 7 points. But I think, as Liverpool fans, from where we've been over the last few weeks, we can't be losing our minds after getting 7 points out of 9, after we've just been beaten 9 out of 12.
I suppose it would be an upturn in form, I suppose, is what... It just feels understand what Peter's saying.
It just feels crazy to think that they've dropped off so much that it's almost like they're accepting being average, or look, winning, getting 7 points ain't average, of course, but the Liverpool side that I'm watching and I think I can still watch is a team that's that goes to these places, gets results, win games, puts teams to the sword. I know it's not difficult in the Premier League; it's hard, but I just feel like don't lower the levels of where Liverpool have been. You've been up there at the top for years. And the expectation, and now we've had a bad month or a couple of months, whatever, with Arne Slot, and it ain't been great. I get that, but don't then bring the expectation levels down to be like, oh yeah, we'll take this. No, you've got to still be like, we're going to be the best side in the country, and we're going to get back to beating Arsenal.
Yeah. Liverpool haven't got low expectations. We still believe that we can win the Champions League. Okay, so the fact is that if Liverpool finish this season in the top 4, qualify for the Champions League next season and win the Champions League, it's a great season. I'm still got my eye in the FA Cup as well. I would still have my eye in the League Cup, but we threw that away a little bit. So no, I don't think Liverpool fans have low expectations. It's just if we bring the context of what Jamie Carragher said, is that losing 9 and 12 and Liverpool being a free fall, the minimum requirements for Arne Slot to stay in the job would be to have 7 points. So I think that's where I'm at as well.
Okay, so actually, you would change your mind in terms of Arne Slot if you don't get 4 points from these next 2 games, then?
I think it's about putting a performance in and a bit of identity. So I think I agree with Jamie earlier again. I can't believe how much I'm agreeing with you, Jamie, to be honest with you. But
it's not often.
On Sunday, I don't think Liverpool were great, but what they did was they were defensively solid. They were professional. It was a really professional performance. West Ham done nothing. I was really disappointed with them as well, to be honest with you. It was a boring 2-0 win, and it's exactly what we needed. A clean sheet, 3 points on the board, and then you move on to the next game. I think Liverpool have been going a little bit too much at times of trying to play the football that we want to play, and it hasn't worked. And you're playing 3 centre-halves in the back 4, really solidified what we needed to do.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask.
Would it change my mind? Would it change my mind? I think if Liverpool was to get beaten 3-0 against Sunderland at home, like they did against Nottingham Forest, I think we'd all be scratching our head a little bit, thinking, well, where do we go from here?
I am going to ask you about Joe Gomez in a minute at right back, but with Salah, what would you do right now? You did win without him, but you have just said that West Ham were poor on the day. Would you bring him back in? Because after a while, the decision will be taken out of your hands when he goes to Africa Cup of Nations.
For me, why did you give him a new contract? If you give him a new contract to play him in this team, not for the future, because he's getting older and older. So whatever the recruitment policy was, in the summer, it was to work with Mohamed Salah, it was to work with Virgil van Dijk. This isn't a long-term plan. So for me, he has to come back in for what he's done for the club. And the only thing I'd say is as well is that for him to be the main man over the last 6 years, I don't think that's always been accurate, because the front 3 were the main men. So you had Bobby Firmino and you had Sadio Mane. Over the last couple of seasons, the recruitment policy hasn't been good enough, so we've been reliant on Mohamed Salah. So every time Liverpool dip in form, he gets the blame. And I think it's unfair that he gets the blame, because if he doesn't score, everyone's saying, well, it's Mohamed Salah's fault. There are 2 other centre-forwards up there, and Alexander Isak, as good as his goal was the other day, that was his first goal in the Premier League this season. So for me, if Salah would have played against West Ham, he probably would have scored. Liverpool still probably would have won. It's Joe Gomez coming in, and Liverpool showing a mature performance is the reason why we won the game, not because of Salah. Yeah,
because we have actually talked on this show quite a bit about why Joe Gomez isn't getting a chance. Now, admittedly, we're mainly saying why wasn't he getting a chance at centre-back when Konate was out of form. But how did he do at right back for you? And does he keep his place regardless of when the others come back?
I think as long as he's fit, yeah, I think he definitely keeps his place, because he brings a little bit more balance to the side. He's an experienced footballer. The problem is he's been getting injections in his knee, and that was his first Premier League start for 11 months. So it's very easy to say, oh, let's play him and play him and play him. I just don't know if his body can withstand the pressure of the Premier League. But if it could, yeah, I'd definitely have him starting for the foreseeable future.